Hi everyone, welcome to NovelListen English. Today we are reading a famous classic, Wuthering Heights. This video is Level 1, so it is for elementary learners. The sentences are simple and the story is very emotional. Important note: I prepared a free PDF worksheet for you. The link is in the description box below. Please download it and do the exercises after the video. This is the best way to improve your English. Now take a deep breath, listen carefully, read the subtitles, and imagine the windy hills. Let's start our story.
It is the year 1801. I visited my new landlord, Mr. Heathcliff. He lives in a cold house called Wuthering Heights. The house is on a windy hill. Mr. Heathcliff is not a happy man. He is very angry and mysterious. I want to learn more about him. The weather was very bad, so I stayed the night. I heard a noise at the window. I saw a ghost girl. She said, "I am Catherine. Let me in." I was very scared. I shouted for help. Heathcliff ran into the room. He was very sad and called for the ghost. My housekeeper, Nellie, told me the story of the past. Many years ago, the old master, Mr. Earnshaw, went on a trip. He came back with a small, poor boy from the city. He named him Heathcliff. He loved the boy very much, but the family was very surprised and confused. Catherine was the master's daughter. She and Heathcliff became best friends. They were always together. They loved the hills and the wind. They played outside all day and were very happy. But Catherine's brother, Hindley, was not happy. He was very jealous of Heathcliff and hated him. The old master died, and Hindley became the new boss. He was very mean to Heathcliff. He said, "You are a servant now." Heathcliff had to work with the animals and sleep in the barn. He was very sad and dirty, but he and Catherine still stayed close friends. One night, Catherine and Heathcliff ran to Thrushcross Grange. It was a beautiful, rich house. They looked through the window. They saw the Linton children. The Lintons had a big dog. The dog bit Catherine's leg. Catherine had to stay at the rich house, but Heathcliff went home alone. Catherine stayed with the Lintons for 5 weeks. She changed a lot. She became a lady. She wore beautiful clothes and stayed clean. When she came back to Wuthering Heights, she was different. She laughed at Heathcliff because he was dirty. Heathcliff was very sad and hurt. Heathcliff tried to be clean for Catherine, but Hindley was mean to him. Edgar Linton, the rich neighbor, visited Catherine. Edgar laughed at Heathcliff too. Heathcliff became very angry. He shouted, "I will be rich one day, and I will punish them all." He felt very lonely. Catherine told Nellie a secret. She said, "Edgar Linton asked me to marry him. I said yes." But she also said, "I love Heathcliff more than my life, but I cannot marry him because he is poor." Heathcliff was listening behind the door. He only heard the bad part. Heathcliff was very heartbroken. He left Wuthering Heights that night. Nobody knew where he went. Catherine cried all night in the rain. She became very sick. She waited for him, but Heathcliff did not come back for a long time. Everything was about to change. 3 years passed. Catherine married Edgar Linton and lived in the rich house. One evening, a man arrived. He was tall, strong, and very rich. It was Heathcliff. He was a gentleman now. Catherine was very happy to see him, but her husband Edgar was not happy at all. Heathcliff visited Catherine every day, but he also wanted revenge. He went to Wuthering Heights to see Hindley. Hindley was now a poor man because he spent all his money on drink. Heathcliff started to play cards with Hindley. He wanted to take everything from his old enemy. Soon, Heathcliff won all of Hindley's money and the house. Now, Heathcliff was the master of Wuthering Heights. Hindley lost everything. Heathcliff was also mean to Hindley's son, Hareton. He wanted the boy to be a servant, just like he was many years ago. Heathcliff was very cruel. Edgar had a sister named Isabella. She liked Heathcliff because he was mysterious. Heathcliff did not love her, but he had a plan. He wanted to hurt Edgar, so he married Isabella. Edgar was very angry. He told his sister, "If you stay with him, I am not your brother." Catherine became very sick. She was caught between her husband, Edgar, and her best friend, Heathcliff. She could not choose between them. She stopped eating and stayed in her room. She missed the old days on the windy hills. She was very unhappy in the rich house and wanted to be free. Edgar was very angry. He told Heathcliff, "Leave my house and never come back." Catherine was caught in the middle. She was very upset and cried. She did not want to choose between her husband and her best friend. The tension in the house was terrible for everyone. Catherine became very sick. She stayed in her room for many days. She opened the window and looked at Wuthering Heights. She wanted to be a child again. She missed the hills and her old life with Heathcliff. She felt like a prisoner in the big, rich house. Heathcliff had a dark plan. He did not love Isabella, but he wanted to hurt Edgar. One night, he and Isabella ran away together to get married. Edgar was very sad and angry. He said, "Isabella is not my sister anymore." Heathcliff was winning his revenge against the Lintons. Heathcliff visited Catherine secretly. It was a very emotional moment. They held each other and cried. Catherine said, "I cannot die while you are alive." Heathcliff was heartbroken. They loved each other very much, but it was too late. They knew they had to say goodbye forever. That night, Catherine died. She left behind a small baby girl named Kathy. Edgar was devastated. Heathcliff was full of rage and pain. He cried out to the wind, "Catherine, do not leave me alone in this world." The story of the first Catherine ended, but the pain continued. 12 years passed. Little Kathy grew up at Thrushcross Grange. She was a beautiful and happy girl. Her father, Edgar, loved her very much. He kept her safe inside the garden. She did not know about Heathcliff or the dark house on the hill. She was very curious. One day, Kathy went for a walk on the moors. She got lost and arrived at Wuthering Heights. she met a boy named Hareton. He looked like a servant, but he was her cousin. Hareton was uneducated and rough. Kathy was surprised. She did not know she had family there. Heathcliff had a son named Linton. Linton's mother, Isabella, died, so Linton came to live at Wuthering Heights. He was a very weak and sick boy. He was afraid of his father. Heathcliff did not love Linton. He only wanted to use him for a cruel plan. Heathcliff wanted to own Thrushcross Grange. He thought, "If Kathy marries Linton, I will have everything." He forced the two children to meet. Linton was scared of Heathcliff. Kathy felt sorry for Linton because he was so sick. She wanted to help her new friend and cousin. Edgar told Kathy, "Do not visit Wuthering Heights." But Kathy did not listen. She and Linton wrote secret letters to each other. They talked about books and the hills. Kathy thought she was in love. She did not see Heathcliff's trap. The dark revenge was starting once again. Heathcliff's plan was very cruel. He trapped Kathy inside his house. He said, "You cannot go home until you marry Linton." Kathy was very afraid for her father, Edgar. She married Linton because she had no choice. Heathcliff was now the master of all the land and money. Everything became very sad. Kathy's father, Edgar, died. Soon after, her young husband, Linton, also died. Kathy was now a widow, and she was all alone in the dark house with Heathcliff. She had no friends and no money. She felt like her life was over. But then, something changed. Kathy started to talk to Hareton. She saw that he was not a bad person. He was just uneducated. She began to teach him how to read. They became very close friends. For the first time in many years, there was kindness and love in Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff changed. He stopped eating and sleeping. He did not want revenge anymore. He only wanted to be with his dead Catherine. One morning, Nellie found him dead by the window. He had a smile on his face. He was finally happy because he went to be with his soul. Heathcliff was buried next to Catherine. People say their ghosts walk together on the hills. Kathy and Hareton decided to get married and move to the rich house. They were very happy. Finally, the anger was gone, and there was peace on the windy moors of Wuthering Heights.
Great job! You finished the story of Heathcliff and Catherine. Did you understand everything? Don't forget to download the free PDF in the description. Test yourself and practice the new words. Was this video too easy for you? Challenge yourself and watch the intermediate level here. The story has more details there. Now I have a question for you. Which classic story do you want next? Dracula, Sherlock Holmes, or something else? Let's meet in the comments. Please write your favorite book below. Subscribe to NovelListen English for more stories. See you soon. Goodbye.